Alrighty, so let's go ahead and find ourselves into a child's pose and just allow ourselves to take up some space on our mat. Allow ourselves just to come within the edges of those beautiful corners here. Take a moment, notice the body, notice any sensations you might already be feeling this morning. And then starting to make your way into awareness of your breath. And just notice how your breath is serving you this morning. Only change it if you feel the need to do so. But perhaps just before we start, we allow ourselves to breathe a little bit deeper than we have all day, just for 3 breaths together, whatever that may look like for you. So emptying out, slowly breathing all the way in. And when you're ready, exhale, let it go. Again, breathing all the way into the top, like a smooth ocean wave. And exhale, let that wave roll back out into the ocean. Once more, breath all the way in. Maybe find a little space somewhere in your chest, your belly, your back you haven't felt. And then exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Then when you feel ready, we're going to start to make our way into a down dog. So we'll start to draw those hands under the shoulders, knees under hips. Take any little movements along the way that might serve you. And feel free to keep those beautiful movements going. It is early in the morning. And this is most likely your first inversion of the day. So just approach it with some gentleness. Just allowing yourself to use it kind of as a gauge for your body and its needs. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Then after you've taken the movements you need here, we're going to come down into a kneeling position, allowing those shins to come to touch. And we're going to find that hero's pose. So if it's comfortable to untuck those toes, you can. Seat on the heels or drawing those heels out and bringing the seat down onto your mat. Just find a nice comfortable spine. Maybe that's hands on the thighs. Maybe you're finding a little lift in the chest. And just notice how that first inversion is already affecting your breath, your heart rate, the physiology within your beautiful living body. Good. Then let's go ahead, come back into our tabletop. Let's find a little stability here. So we'll go ahead, lengthen the spine, engage that core, and see if you can keep your spine nice and stable without adding too much movement while we extend that left foot back and walk those right fingertips forward. Then nice and easy, kick that heel back, reach those fingertips towards me, and just rise them to whatever degree you can maintain a nice long spine. And again here, notice that breath, breathing in, breathing out. Good. Let's go ahead, slowly release. And we'll switch it out, opposite side. We'll extend those right toes back, left fingertips forward. Check in with the midline, and then when you're ready, go ahead and extend that tabletop. Good. Notice how that breath can still reach all the way down into your belly here. And then when you're ready, go ahead, exhale, release. Good. From here, shift it forward. We'll draw those elbows in and slowly come all the way down onto the chin. Good, Christy. Release the chest, release the hips, just warming up the spine. Let's find some little cobras. So hips are connected to the mat. Inhale, lift the heart, draw those shoulders back. And then on your breath, go ahead, exhale, release it back down, soften. Good. We're going to do that 4 more times. I invite you as you move through this on your own breath, just to explore gradually waking up the backside of your body, breath by breath. Each cobra might look a little bit different than the other one. That's perfectly fine. Just work into different areas of your body that might need it. Beautiful breath. Good. Then maybe just one more, and we'll just hold for a few counts. Good. And exhale, bring it back down. Nice. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes. Press that mat away as we rise up. Exhale, hips draw back down, dog. Your body might still need some little wiggles here. That's perfectly fine. Allow yourself to get them. Notice the neck, the jaw, the hips, the back of the legs, the strength through those shoulders as you press the mat away. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Go ahead, rise up high, both toes, as you lift those hips as high as they'll go. And exhale, bend knees towards chest, gaze forward, and let's start to make our way to the top of your mat. Feel free to explore the sensations as you get there. On an inhale, go ahead, halfway lift, lengthen that spine. Good. Then extend those arms back, airplane wings. Scoop that heart forward. Good. Nice, Jared. Exhale, release, fold. Let's go ahead, rise up. You can keep a long spine by lowering those hips or come up one vertebrae at a time, whatever your body likes, and we'll meet in an extended mountain. Arms will reach all the way up. Good. Take a moment here. Notice that grounding through your feet. See if you can press down and lengthen that spine just a little bit taller towards the sky. And exhale, melt it down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can slide up the shins. Exhale, bring it back down. Plant those hands, step it back, meet in plank. Good. Go ahead, shift it forward, come all the way down onto the chin. And remember, at any time, you can lower those knees first. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Good. From here, lift hips, chest, then chin. Squeeze those elbows in as you press that mat away. Good. Tuck those toes, press back, down dog. Good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, rise on the toes, knees towards chest, gaze forward. We'll meet at the top. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find traction through your spine here. Exhale, bring it back down. Fold. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up, up, up. Exhale, bring it back down over the thighs as you mount. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bring those hands back. Meet in that plank. Good, let's keep it moving. Shift it forward, come all the way down. Maybe that chin touches first. Untuck those toes. Inhale, broaden through the shoulders, cobra. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, draw those hips back, down dog. Let's take another sun A. Inhale, rise on toes, knees towards chest. Come to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up, up, up. Exhale, smooth exhale, lead with the heart as you come back down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Plant those hands. Find your plank. Shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, hips draw back down dog. Inhale, rise high, both toes, knees towards chest. Come to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Go ahead. Keep those fingertips on your mat and start to find a bend in that left knee. Start to draw that right heel behind you and notice how it feels to bring it in line for your hip. Good. Feel free to reach for any blocks if you like. If you feel steady here and you want to bring your gaze down towards those toes, start to walk those hands back in line with your foot and maybe lift that right heel even higher up towards the sky. And then to whatever degree feels right, maybe you press through that left heel and even start to find some length through your standing leg. Smooth inhale. Slow breath out. Beautiful, Jared. When you're ready, go ahead, start to walk those hands back forward. Lower that leg back in line with the hip. And then maybe you start to find a little balance through some airplane. Hands can be at the heart or back by the hips. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Beautiful, Christy. Good. Go ahead, release those hands back down. Exhale, release right foot by left and fold. Then as you're ready, start to walk those fingertips forward once again. Add a bend in that right knee. Then start to slide that left heel up. Go ahead, bring it in line with your hip. Find your balance there. There's truly no rush. And then if you need more sensation, start to lengthen the chest like it's going to come towards that right shin and bring your gaze back towards that ankle. Squeeze the seat of that left glute to lift that left leg a little higher. And then, to whatever degree feels right, maybe you press through that standing leg and start to find some length there. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Go ahead, start to walk those hands back forward. We'll lower that left leg in line with the hip as we lift the chest. Imagine you're coming to a flat back here like a modified warrior 3. Then just playing with your balance. Maybe one hand lifts up, maybe two. Maybe they sweep back by the hips like airplane wings. Steady inhale. Steady breath out. Exhale, plant those hands, bring that left foot back down. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt. From here, find a nice deep bend in your knees as you sink into the heels and lower the hips down towards your mat. Lift the heart, chair pose. Good. Hands at heart center or extend them towards the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Exhale, bring it down. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant those hands. Step back, plank. Who knew being on your hands would feel so good, right? Shift it forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, hips draw back down dog. Good. From here, that right leg's going to step forward. If you want to kick it up towards the sky, first you can. Lift up high left toes, give yourself space, then squeeze right thigh towards chest, knee stretches forward towards nose, and bring it by that right thumb. Good, take a moment, square off those hips, lift the gaze forward, then maybe those hands reach forward for a beach ball. And then as you're ready, stand it up. See if you can keep that back heel lifted coming through your crescent. Good. Pinkies turn in, thumbs turn out. Breath all the way in, all the way out. Once more, see if you can find a little bit action through that sole of the right foot as you sink into that knee. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bring it forward, melt it down, frame that foot, step it back, plank. Good. Modify this vinyasa as it serves you, but shifting forward. Exhale, lower, chin, chest, hips. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, bring it back down. Good. You can keep those knees lowered if you want to lift them, tuck the toes, and we'll lift hips, chest, chin. Good. You got it. Exhale, pull it back. That was good, Christy. Full breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, lift that left heel all the way up if you like that extended split variation. Then go ahead, rise up high on right toes. We'll draw thigh towards chest, knee towards nose. Step left foot by that left thumb. High lunge. Good. From here, see where you can create some space through the spine. Maybe that includes kind of engaging through the core. And once you feel stable, start to reach those arms forward. Squeeze those inner thighs through the midline as you reach all the way up towards the sky. Good. And just notice if maybe you can draw those lower ribs slightly higher up off the waist. Good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. One more breath. Maybe you find your legs have woken up and you want to sink just a little bit deeper. Then when you're ready, go ahead, reach it forward. Bring it back down. Step it back, plank. Smooth breath in, shift it forward. Exhale, come all the way down onto the chest. Inhale, rise. Find your back bend. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, everything lifts up and in as you press that mat away. Good. Exhale, hips draw back down dog. Take a moment here. Notice how you're grounding through the front part of your feet, evenly from the big toe edge to the pinky side. Feeling the heels of your palms as you wrap those biceps by the ears. Breath in. Breath out. Notice if maybe you can find a little bit more traction through the spine by kind of tilting those hips up high towards the sky. Another way to imagine this is like a string is pulling your sternum towards the towards the back of your legs. Towards the back of your mat, I should say. Smooth inhale. Slow breath out. Good. Let's continue a little bit more warming up. So go ahead, rise up high, both toes, knees towards the chest, gaze forward, meet at the top. Exhale, release, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Go ahead, find those toes, lift them up. Exhale, lower the hips, chair pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Exhale, bring it back down, release. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, plant those hands, step it back, plank. Shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away, squeeze those elbows in. Yes. Exhale, draw it back, down dog. Good. Inhale, that right leg's gonna come forward. Exhale, step it through. Square off those hips, lift the gaze, reach fingertips, reach all the way up towards the sky. Good. Find your max expression. We're just here for another breath. Then when you're ready, reach it forward, bring it back down towards your mat. Step it back, shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, draw those hips back. Left leg, when you're ready, if you want to inhale it up. Exhale, bring it back in, step it through. Good. Compact those hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Reach those fingertips, rise up when you feel ready. Just a few breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out. Breath into the chest, maybe you even expand through the collarbone the smallest amount. Exhale, bring it back down. Step it back, plank. Shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, down dog we meet. Full breath in. Slow breath out. Take a moment to appreciate those changes in your breath. Maybe you find a little bit new sensation through your chest. Maybe your heart beats a little bit more prominent than it was in your first down dog. Good. Then when you're ready, one more sun, be with me. Rise high on those toes, knees towards chest, gaze forward, meet at the top. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sink into your best chair pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Open the heart, good. Exhale, release it down, step back, find your plank. Shift it forward. Notice how good this feels now that the body's warm. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Beautiful breath. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, draw it back, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw it in, step it through. Good, frame those hips, reach it all the way up, high crescent lunge. Breath in. Exhale, bring it back down. Step it back. Beautiful flow with that breath. Shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, hips draw back. Inhale, extend that left heel all the way up. Exhale, draw that knee in, step it to the top. Find your foundation, lift the gaze, release those fingertips, reach all the way high to the sky. Take a full breath in, doesn't it feel nice? Exhale, bring it back down, reach for that mat, step it back. Shift it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, press that mat away. Exhale, draw it back, down dog. Good, take 5 breaths here. Appreciate those beautiful changes. Notice how this down dog feels a little bit more warmed up. Perhaps notice even some subtle changes in that inner climate of your mind. Good. Then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead, we're going to meet at the top of the mat. So rising on those toes, bending the knees, step, pop, float. Exhale, fold. Good. From here, let's come back through that beautiful standing split. So go ahead and start to extend that left foot back. Maybe it comes all the way up towards the sky. Good. If you feel like you have your balance here and you want to try wrapping those hands back around that heel or one hand, feel free. Breath in, breath out. Then go ahead, start to level out the spine, come through your airplane, find your balance. Nice active foot behind you, whether it's pointed or flexed. And then as you're ready, start to draw that left knee in as we come to our standing one-legged mountain. Good. Go ahead, find your drishti, your gaze point, something eye level or above. And we'll draw our hands in. And from here, as always, you have beautiful options. You can stay here if you want. You can bring those peace fingers to the big toes. Now, if you're choosing this variation, I want you to only go as far as you can with your shoulders still stacked over your hips. So find that nice tall spine. And then if you do want to extend that foot forward, start to extend it, but don't round through the back. Keep a nice lifted chest. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Then from here, if you want to open that leg up, open hip variation. Good. Bring it back forward. From here, maybe those hands release and you kick that leg forward. Beautiful. From here, airplane that leg back, keep it lifted. Right fingertips come back down towards the mat. From here, we're half mooning, so turn those left toes out as you open the hip. Left arm stretches all the way up towards the sky. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Exhale, bring that gaze back down. Release that left hand, left foot plants, fold. Good. Take a moment, whatever movements your body needs. Then when you're ready, let's switch it out, opposite side. So shift our weight to that left foot. Start to slide that right heel all the way back up. Good. So through this standing split, if you feel like you need a little bit more or want to challenge your balance, maybe you walk those hands in towards the ankle, wrapping one hand behind or both. Breath in, breath out. Then go ahead, slowly release. Come back, find your balance. Maybe those arms even come back by the hips. Lift the chest as you draw those shoulders back. And then start to rise up, one-legged mountain. Draw that knee in. Beautiful balance, Christy. Good. Then left hand can come down by the hip if it's not already there. Right hand to the knee or wrap it around those peace fingers. Peace fingers around that big toe. Good. Then as you're ready, go ahead, start to extend that right heel forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Go ahead, open that hip. Steady breath, steady gaze. And bring it back in. Good. From here, embrace those wobbles. It's how we grow. Oh, yeah, sorry. Extend that right heel. Whew. My left leg was going out on me. Good. Then, Christy gets the gold star of the day. We kick that heel back and find that left hand down as we open our hip into that half moon. Breathing in. Breathing out. Go ahead, bring our gaze down, release that right foot, and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. On an exhale, we are going to lower the hips towards the heels, but we're going to go ahead and rise up on our toes first. So coming into that toe stand, lift the heels up off the mat. Then exhale, sit the hips down towards the heels. Good. Find that beautiful sensation through the feet. Option to keep hands here, or maybe you take a little extension through the side body, interlacing, pressing palms out. Good. Or reaching them all the way up towards the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Exhale, bring those hands back down. Lift the hips. Fold. Good. Then from here, option to take peace fingers around big toes or gorilla. So we'll go ahead, we'll walk our feet out hip distance if they're not already there. And then if you're taking that gorilla pose, we'll start to lift the front portion of the feet, slide those hands underneath, and allow the toes to come towards the wrists. If that doesn't feel comfortable and you want to bring peace fingers around big toes, we'll draw those elbows towards opposite sides of the room. Good. And I invite you here, before you worry about straightening those legs, go ahead, sink the hips and draw those low ribs like they're going to come down towards your knees. Lift navel up and in, protect that core and low back. And then as you're ready, press through the legs as you release the crown of the head down any amount. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Go ahead, slowly release. We'll bring those hands back out. And from here, sink those hips like you're coming into a chair. Good. Hands can draw in. Finding those legs. Then when you're ready, press through the feet. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Good. Let's find a little side body stretch. So let's release that right hand down. And lengthen through that left side body. Exhale, keep that right rib cage lifted as you reach that arm towards the right side wall. Good. You can imagine you're staying in a flat plane here. If you want to add on with a little back bend, draw that right shoulder forward as that left arm reaches behind you. Breathing in.
Breathing out. Good. If you took that back bend variation, go ahead, bring those shoulders in line with one another. And inhale, bring that right arm back up. We'll switch it out. Release that left hand down. Remember, press through the feet, lift up out of the waist. Keep that lift going as you reach that right arm towards that opposite left side wall. Good. If this feels like it's hitting where it needs to, feel free. If you need that little chest opener towards the sky, draw left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Notice how it feels in your neck. Where does your gaze want to go? What serves you? Breath in. Breath out. Good. Go ahead, square those shoulders back up. Reach left arm towards the sky. On an exhale, fold forward, melt. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, plant those hands. Vinyasa, how you like to come into your down dog. Shifting forward, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, release. Find your breath as you move through your individual vinyasa. Smooth breath in. Slow breath out. Good. So we're going to be coming to a down dog twist. So options here for a little bit more stability. Sometimes it feels nice to bring those feet a little bit wider on the mat or kind of walk them in. So allow yourself to have a strong base through your legs and then shift your weight over into that left hand. Right hand can start to release. And then from here, sweep it back towards that opposite left leg. Reaching for knee, maybe you find it wants to walk down towards the calf or towards the heel. Good, and if you feel like you're sliding here or unsteady, you can always add a bend into that left knee. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good, go ahead, release that right hand, bring it back through, but wiggle walk those big toes together. From here, switch over onto that right hand as you lift that left hip towards the sky and come into a side plank. And remember, at any point, you can lower that right knee back down onto your mat for some support. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good, maybe it feels nice to reach that left arm over the ear. Good. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Come through our plank. Exhale, lower the knees, tabletop. Good. From here, go ahead and extend left foot back, right hand forward, and extend as you reach in opposite directions. Good. Staying here, working on balance, stability. If you need a little quad stretch to add in, start to hug that left heel in and sweep that right hand back for the inner arch of that foot, and then kick that foot towards the sky. Breath in, breath out. Good. We'll go ahead, extend if you have your foot bound. And bring it back down, tabletop. Good. Take any movements you need, and then we'll meet back, down dog. Good. Then go ahead, set yourself back up for opposite down dog twist. So if you want to walk those feet a little further or in, feel free. Then press through the heel of that right palm, grip the mat with those fingertips, allow that left hand to hover up off your mat. Then start to reach back for that right leg. Good. Sometimes it helps to imagine that you're lifting the center of the chest up under that right arm. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Then slowly go ahead, release. Left hand comes back down onto the mat and wiggle walk those toes together. Good. Then shift your weight to that fresh left hand and roll over onto the blade edge of that left foot, side plank. Steady breath in. Slow breath out. Go ahead, bring our gaze back down, release that right hand, come back through, tabletop. All right, this is always where I get it wrong. So left foot back, right hand forward, right? Is that the one? I don't know why. That always gets me every time. Good. Once you've found your stability here, if you need to take it a little further, draw that left heel in, reach that right hand back, and kick that foot up towards the sky. Breath in, breath out. Good. Go ahead, extend in opposite directions if you're bound. And exhale, bring it back down. Good. Take any movements you need or a drink of water. We'll meet back down dog when you're ready. Good. Take a moment, appreciate how good this down dog is from your first one of class, how nice it feels. Good. And then when you're ready, we can extend that right heel all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, draw that knee in, step it between the hands. Good. So from here, we are coming to a pyramid. Last week we did it with the blocks. If you want to draw those blocks back in, you can. Or maybe stepping that left foot forward. But start to just find some length through that right leg. So for today's class, I know last time we spoke specifically coming to those blocks. But today we're going to kind of focus on just finding what it feels like without them. Because sometimes you can't have them, but play with it, see how it serves you, and then choose that you want that extra aid. Because sometimes I notice in my own practice, just out of habit, I always reach for the same things and I don't notice how it feels without them. So if you find without you doesn't serve you, feel free to bring them back in, but maybe just take a breath or two here to experiment. Good. Then, if that foot stepped in a way that you feel like you kind of shortened your stance too much, maybe step left foot back. We'll turn those toes out on a little catty corner in case they kind of shifted. And then, just allow that right hand to graze the mat as you lift that left arm all the way up towards the sky. Good, thinking of our triangle pose. So this is a beautiful place here. Just notice where that hand naturally serves you. Maybe those fingertips come to the mat. Maybe they like the ankle more instead, or the shin. From here, see if you can lengthen between that right hip and that right rib cage as you draw that shoulder forward, the smallest amount. Good, then maybe it feels good to reach that left arm over the ear for a little side body stretch. And then from here, release that left hand back down. We're going to come into a twist. So right hand reaches up. And I know for me, this is one, if I'm going to use a block, it's typically going to be this one. So feel free to draw it in if you find it doesn't serve you. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Then go ahead, release that hand back down through your pyramid, but pivot over to face that left side. Those toes turn out. Good. Wide-legged fold. Sometimes it feels nice to even wiggle walk those legs a little forward. And start to reach those hands towards those ankles or toes. Beautiful. Then from here, start to release that right hand and draw it also towards that back leg. And just imagine you're pulling the right side of your chest over towards that left ankle. It's not going to touch, but that's just that sensation you're going for. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Then go ahead, slowly release. Come back through center and find a nice flat back here in your wide-legged fold. Good. Maybe it feels nice to draw those arms out, fingertips reaching towards front and back side of the room. And then with a nice flat back, go ahead, rise up. Good. Your arms are already there. So we'll pivot those right toes forward and sink into that warrior two. Nice. Breathing in. Breathing out. Then from here, lengthen forward. And start to reach that right hand back behind that front leg. So coming to a side angle. If you find you want to bring that forearm to the shin, feel free. Or if you want to utilize any props to help you lengthen that arm. But just imagine, focus on drawing that right knee into that, into your right armpit if that arm's extended behind. Good. Then if it feels nice, draw those left arms over the ear for an extended variation. Beautiful, Jared. And then let's go ahead, release that left hand inside of that right foot. And option to pivot that heel up. Keeping that knee stacked over the ankle, then reach that right arm all the way up towards the sky. Good. Twisting lunge. If this feels too easy, maybe you lift that heel of your palm up off your mat. Good. Option to take a side body stretch here by stretching that right arm over the ear. Lovely, Christy. And then go ahead, bring that gaze back down. Release that right hand. And from here, we'll rise up. Find that standing crescent lunge. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Nice steady breath. Notice how strong you can feel here. Lifting the chest, drawing shoulders back. Good. Then exhale, bring it back down. Plant those hands. From here, option to come into a full split or half Hanuman, so we can release that left knee down. And then start to walk that right leg forward, whatever degree serves you. And again, this can be a nice place to use blocks if you like. Good. Allow yourself a few moments here. I know especially on these sticky mats, it can take a minute to get situated.
Breath in. Breath out. Good. Notice how much action you want to take in that front leg to kind of work into the calf. Good. If you do want to start to draw that chest down towards the shin, you can. Just keep lengthening forward before you melt. Just a few more breaths here. Good. Good. If you're just getting somewhere where you want to be, or not, that works. You can take a few breaths, or we'll go ahead and start to wiggle our way out. I know these sticky mats don't always make it the most graceful. So drawing that foot back in. Plant those hands and go ahead, step it back. Let's take a vinyasa, shift it forward, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away, squeeze those elbows in. Draw it back, down dog. Good, notice how nice that right leg feels. And let's see if we can get that left leg to match. So as you're ready, go ahead, lift that left heel all the way up towards the sky. And on an exhale, draw that knee in, step it between the hands. Good. And take your time. We're just coming into that pyramid, so maybe you find that foot wants to step in. Maybe you take a moment here, explore, and then realize you want to utilize those blocks. It's always such a beautiful thing to notice when we choose to use an aid or an assist. And sometimes when we notice that, it's our choice. Sometimes we want to go without it. Sometimes those sensations serve us more. Both paths are beautiful and equally hard to choose, depending upon who you are. Good. So if you shorten your stance, maybe go ahead and step that foot back. Turn those toes out. Draw that left hand inside that left ankle and reach right arm all the way up towards the sky. See if we can open that right shoulder. Imagine that just a string is around your wrist and helping you lift up through that arm. Breath in. Breath out. Good. If it feels nice, maybe you stretch that right arm over the ears. You draw that hip back. Good. Then bring your gaze down. Release that right hand inside that ankle. We're going to come into that twist. Take your time as you allow your body to find this pose. Remember, the faster you rush into a pose, the longer you have to hold it. So take your time. Good. Hand on the hip is a beautiful variation to keep that engagement through the core. Then go ahead, bring your gaze down, release that left hand through a wide pyramid, and then pivot over towards that right, finding your wide-legged fold. Good. And again, if you want to take any adjustments in the feet, feel free. Option here, you can still reach for your feet, maybe finding bent elbows. If you want something a little different, maybe reach the hands behind the back, find a bind, and draw those knuckles up towards the sky before you release the crown of the head back down. Good. Take a moment here to honor and appreciate your beautiful variation that you chose.
Good. Then if you're in that bind or hands on the hips, maybe hands come back down towards the mat, and we'll start to walk our hands over towards that right ankle. And again, just imagine that left side of the chest is drawing forward towards that back shin. Just go to the degree where you feel some good sensation in your body. Good, then let's go ahead, slowly release, come back through center. Find a nice halfway lift. And then maybe you want to go ahead and set those arms up for warrior two, so you can spread those wings, keep the spine long as you rise up, pressing through the heels. Good, then pivot those left toes forward, sink into that knee, set your base up. Good, then keep pressing through that back right heel, back blade edge of that foot as you reach forward. And as you're ready, left hand comes down behind that front ankle. Good, and see if you can just spiral and lift that left chest the smallest amount up towards the sky. You've got this. We already did it on the other side. We're almost there. Good, maybe bringing that bicep over the ear for a little side body sensation. And then as you're ready, bring that gaze down, release that right hand. You can pivot that back heel up and find that crescent twist. Good, imagine you're drawing that right side body over towards that front thigh. Maybe reaching that arm over the ear for just a breath or two. Good, very nice, Christy. Go ahead, release that left hand. And as you're ready, find your foundation, square off the hips and rise up, standing crescent lunge. Take a moment, appreciate just how strong those legs are. Breathing in. Breathing out. Beautiful. Go ahead, bring it back forward. Exhale, plant those hands. From here, Hanuman or full split. Good, Jared. You can even kind of just wiggle in and out of it, like just little small motions, especially if you're in the kneeling variation. And just find a nice little sticky spot where you want to hang out. Good. If you're in full split and you want to kind of walk that chest and bring it down towards that front thigh, feel free before you round it down. Just a few breaths. Good, then as you're ready, we'll come back up. Take your time. Working with those wrinkles in your mat. And then as you're ready, we'll meet back. Find your plank. And this time, come all the way down onto the chest. Good. So let's go ahead and just take a moment here. Let's actually
Let's just bring our fingertips back by the hips and bring your favorite ear down onto the mat. And just notice how it feels to allow your body to completely relax. So relax the glutes, the legs, the upper back, the shoulders, the hands. Then if it feels right, maybe you switch and bring your other favorite ear down onto the mat. And just take a moment to notice the sensation and movement of your breath through your belly, in your chest, maybe even that expansion of the ribs here. Good. Then as you're ready, continue to focus on your breath for as long as serves you. If your body feels like it wants a little bit more engagement in the back body, then we're going to come into some locust pose. So we'll go ahead, we'll bring the gaze down and forward, fingertips back by the hips. And from here, let's set this up piece by piece at first. So we'll go ahead, we'll lift navel up and in, draw the glutes towards that back wall, and then keeping core strong, inhale, start to draw those shoulders back as you lift the chest. Good. Then, if your legs want to come into this, we'll start to point those toes towards the back wall, then start to lift the the ankles, the shins. If fingertips want to float up, feel free. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Exhale, bring it back down. Good. Option to stick with that same locust again. If you want to join me in a different variation, we'll take some upward facing bow pose. So starting to draw those heels in and reach the hands back for those ankles. Good. And if you don't have a reach of the ankles, you could always do this by just pointing the toes up towards the sky and still allowing those hands to kind of float. But when you're ready, go ahead, find that strong center of your body, your core. And then start to press those feet up and allow that leverage to help open your chest towards the front wall. Good. Notice if your knees are splaying out. Try to draw them hip distance in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good, Jared. Exhale, come back down. Good. Go ahead, stretch those arms overhead. Maybe wiggle the feet back and forth, windshield wipers, whatever feels nice. Good. Then setting ourselves up once more. Option to take either of those two previous variations, or if you want a little bit more through the shoulders, we'll go ahead, we'll point those toes back, bring them, our legs hip distance apart. And then, if you want, you can keep those arms extended up and start to rise up on the fingertips as you lift the chest, draw those shoulders back. Then draw those toes up. Then maybe those hands reach overhead. Breathing in. Breathing out. Smooth breath in. Slow breath out. Good. Bring it back down when you're ready. We'll slide those hands back under the shoulders. Let's take a little cobra. Lift the chest, draw those shoulders back. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, down dog, we meet. Good. Notice how beautiful and open this down dog might feel. See if there's any more freedom in your breath here than the first time you took this inversion. Beautiful. Then go ahead, shift it forward, come down onto the shins. Coming back into that hero's pose. So, good. Option again to stay seated here. If you need more sensation, maybe those hands walk back. You can stay here, you can bend the elbows. Maybe you start to come down onto the elbows. Maybe you find you can scoot those hips forward, lengthen the low back, and then maybe even the shoulders come down. Good. Just see what little bit of tension, wherever you are, you can give up and allow yourself just to breathe. Good. Then, as Bryan often says, if you weren't smart enough to stay seated, go ahead, start to walk those elbows in and make your way back up. Good. And then we'll go ahead and we will bring those feet forward. Bring soles of the feet onto your mat. And let's just wrap those arms around the shins. Find a seated child's pose or under the thighs, whatever feels better. Good. Well, go ahead, we'll rise up. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and allow those knees to open up through our bound angle. Good. And sometimes, this is just a little fun little Iyengar trick I've learned. Sometimes it's nice before we get too situated here to walk those hands back by the hips, find the fingertips, and press down, lift the hips, any amount. And then bring them back down so we can recreate that little curve in the low back. Good. Then when you find where you want those heels to go, maybe you start to lead with the chest forward, finding a little fold. Beautiful. Then we can start to make our way back up. Good. Let's draw those feet back onto the mat. Turn those toes forward, hip distance apart. Reach those hands back behind you, fingertips forward or back, whatever feels better in your shoulders. And just press those hips up, reverse tabletop. Good. Nice slow breath in. Easy breath, let it go. Then as you're ready, we'll go ahead, we'll lower those hips back down. Good. From here, readjust those hands if you like. But find those sits bones lift the chest. Maybe a subtle bend in those elbows. And then just start to point those toes up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, slowly lower them down. Hover them over your mat. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. For 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead, plant feet or heels. Press the mat away. Lift those hips. Revolve tabletop or plank. Breath in. A breath out. Exhale, slowly bring it back down. Very nice. Good. Let's send our hips a little love. So from here, I'll be speaking to double pigeon, but of course, feel free to detour. But finding your seat, we'll start to bring that shin parallel with our mat. We'll do left shin first, then hug that right knee in, take some movements, maybe rock it back and forth. And then when you're ready, we'll stack it on top of the other one like you're stacking fire logs, flexing those feet. So ankle over knee, knee over ankle, sitting nice and tall. Reclined figure 4 is also a beautiful option. Good. If you're feeling any discomfort in that right knee, feel free to use some padding, a block, a blanket. Good. Then I'm going to give you another arm variation. So if you're with me and seated, maybe you want to add on with a behind the back bind. So we can start to stretch that right arm all the way up towards the sky. Bending that elbow as we bring that hand to the middle of the back. Good. Maybe it feels good just to slide that elbow in just a little bit further. But then we'll reach that left arm out. Pivot that thumb back and roll that shoulder forward. Bending that elbow and then slide the back of that left wrist, forearm all the way up towards those right fingertips. Good. And if you don't have a grip here on your hands or your wrists, feel free just to utilize your shirt. And then eventually sit up nice and tall. And if you're in this bound arm variation, press the back of the head into that right forearm. And notice if you forgot about your hips. Find your action there. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. So I'm going to speak to a forward fold variation here. You could keep this arm bind if you want it. But if you've had enough, release it. And you can just start to walk those fingertips forward and melt it down to whatever degree feels right. Good. We'll go ahead. We'll slowly start to make our way back up. Then when you're ready, let's switch it out. We'll bring that right shin underneath. Maybe in line with the front of that mat. Hug that left knee in. Take any movements it needs. Open that hip. And then as you're ready, stack those fire log legs on top of one another. Taking a moment, appreciating your own uniqueness here. If one side does not feel the same as the other, no stress, just Feel free to utilize any props or any adjustments you may need here. Then after you've taken a moment to find your seat, your hips, if you want to add on with the arms on the opposite side, we'll bring that left arm up and bring that hand back between the shoulder blades. Feel free to use that right hand to draw it in. Bring it down a little further to the middle of the back. Then right arm comes out, thumb draws back and rotate that shoulder in. It's going to feel a little funky, but it'll help you find a deeper reach. And then wiggle that elbow in and just walk that hand up. Good. Then when you're ready, again, lift the chin in parallel with the mat. Bring a softness to the gaze or close the eyes. Allow yourself a few moments to breathe here. Beautiful. Feel free to release that bind if you've had enough. We're going to come into that fold. So we'll start to draw that chest forward. Lengthen through the back. Don't worry about physical landmarks here. Just find those sensations that serve you. Imagining that you're lengthening that space between the top of the hips, those lower ribs. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Then slowly start to make your way up. For the sake of time, I'm going to condense a little bit here, but let's just take one little moment reclined. So coming down onto your back, I invite you to just take something that feels good. Maybe it's happy baby, wide-legged, or maybe it's feet extended towards the sky. Maybe it's just some wiggles back and forth or some circles on the low back. Just a few breaths here. Good. Then when you're ready, let's go ahead and rise up, finding a seat. All right, so feel free if you do want to utilize a blanket or a block, just find whatever easy seat works for you today. Wanted to make sure I included this portion in today's class. So if you watch Bryan's classes, he doesn't really use a whole lot of Sanskrit. He doesn't, like, he kind of steers away from a lot of the esoteric stuff. But he does include this beautiful meditation practice, which I really enjoy. So we'll go ahead. I think you're both familiar with Ghana Mudra, bringing the thumb and the index finger together. You can bring that on top of the knees. We have multiple steps here. Then from here, we're going to utilize that root lock. So lifting the perineum up and in. Find that nice tall spine. And then allow the chin, so kind of a throat lock as well. So chin towards the chest to whatever degree feels nice. And then eyes can be closed, but imagine that you're just gazing down, both eyes down the bridge to the tip of your nose. So we're also strengthening eye muscles here as well. And then as we continue to go inwards, let's add on some Ujjayi breath. So Victoria's breath, breath with sound. So that subtle hissing noise. Opening up the back of the palate, we'll breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in. Slow breath out. Good. Continue this 8 more rounds. Tension on the breath. Good. If you'd like to take a few more moments here, please be my guest. Otherwise, we are starting to make our way onto our backs. So just use as little energy as you can to start to make your way down. Then from here, I'm going to be speaking to a reclined twist before we close. So we can draw that right knee in, extend that left heel forward, and then roll over onto that left hip and draw that knee across the body. Right arm can reach behind you as you open the chest towards the sky. And just see if you can allow your body just a little less effort and allow it to melt. Good. When you're ready, we'll lift the gaze back up. We'll roll back onto both hips. Then go ahead, draw that left knee in, lengthen out the spine if you need any adjustments, and then slide that right heel forward and roll back over onto that right hip. Left knee draws across the body, right hand can be planted on the outside of that thigh. And just open that left arm behind you. Maybe gaze even releases towards those back fingertips. Then eventually bring your gaze back up, roll back onto both hips. And one last little bit of energy. Draw both knees in, wrap those arms around the shins, draw everything up and in as you squeeze into the tiniest little ball.
And then inhale, expand. Allow those legs to stretch forward, arms to reach out. Allow your body to find whatever variation allows you complete rest. So any tension in the back, feel free to draw the knees up towards the sky. Otherwise, just allow yourself a few moments to notice your breath. And then if it feels comfortable, allow even that awareness to drift away. And allow yourself just to be. And allow yourself to receive. Taking a slow breath in. And softly let it go. Just allow yourself to find those edges of your body. Adding subtle movements. And just allow those movements to naturally lead to bigger movements through the arms, the legs, coming towards the center of your body. And then if it feels right, allow yourself to transition over onto your right side and take a few moments here to transition. Then as you feel ready, not a moment before, allow yourself to rise up, bringing only that which serves you for the rest of your day. Allow everything else to be left behind on your mat. We'll sweep it up after class. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. Till next time, namaste. The few and the proud. Thanks for making it out this morning. You guys did awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for making it out.
Tough today.
You think?
Yeah. Been all years.
Oh gosh, we're at that age where like it takes 2 days to recover. It's terrible.
You didn't get I'm at that age where you didn't go anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just
saying,
like, it's
we were supposed to be done at 9. That was like our first year.
I had, yeah.